Welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to be doing a step-by-step breakdown of how to do a black smoky eye. Perfect for any Halloween look if you want to add a little bit more drama, a little bit more smokiness. So let's get started. I'm not going to go in depth on the skin, but since we are doing a black smoky eye, you want to start with your eyes first so that any fallout you can clean up really easily without ruining your face makeup. So let me zoom you in. I zoomed in quite a bit so that you can see how each step looks, and this is a very trust the process type of makeup. So don't be alarmed when it doesn't come out every single step the way that you want to. It is not going to look good. It's not going to look good until the end, to be honest. Also, your face makeup really ties it in at the end, so don't be afraid to keep going. Just keep going. That's the whole point of a black smoky eye. You don't give up. Okay, so I know I said this is not skin focused, but as I preach in every single one of my tutorials, I'm going to start off by moisturizing my skin. This is my combo for today: the MAC Mineralized Time Check Lotion and the Ulla and Henriksen Banana Bright Eye Cream. Actually, I don't know if I want to fix this angle. I don't have my contacts on, so I'm going to have to put my glasses on to see if I like this. Right there. That should be good. You can see enough too, right? Okay, anyways. And then a little bit of my Tatcha Kiss You Lip Mask. The easiest thing that you can do to achieve a black smoky eye is start off with cream eyeshadows or your cream contour if you already have that nearby. If you have a darker concealer, you can also use that. Just keep in mind you would have to use a little bit more eyeshadow or powder to set it so that the cream doesn't move as much. Some recommendations are from Bobbi Brown. You can also use the ones from e.l.f. I've heard those are really good. These Revlon cream shadows, but they don't have a black or a really dark brown, or even a gel eyeliner, which we are going to be using, but not quite yet. Make sure there's no moisture on your eye, like any eye cream or moisturizer in general. And now we can go in with a cream eyeshadow. Two of the best tips that I can give you for application is make sure you have a dense brush, a fluffy brush, as well as build up the product little by little. You can always add, but you cannot take away as easily, especially with these cream products because they dry pretty quickly. It'll create a patchy mess if you're using too much at the same time. Let's say you're a complete beginner at makeup and you're like, okay, I literally don't know where to start and I'm scared it's not gonna look blended. Then, like I said, you can go in with your cream bronzer or a darker concealer right on your eyelids, very little amount, I mean, and start blending it. See these motions that I'm going in? Windshield wiper motions. Kind of exaggerate it at first so that it's easier for you to understand how your hand or your wrist should react, and then you can go in back and forth just by wiggling the brush. Make sure though that you're not just concentrating it right here. That's where I see a lot of people go wrong, is that they'll try and just keep it in their crease, whereas with these transition colors you really want to blend it upwards and almost outwards towards the brow bone. This is also where you can determine the eye shape that you want to go for. If you want to go more rounded, you would keep it obviously more of a circular shape, but if you want to go more cat eye, let's say you're doing like a Catwoman look or something like that, pull it all the way out. And because this is a concealer that we're using as our base, it's first of all going to blend a lot easier because it's a thinner consistency than a cream eyeshadow, but also it will provide some coverage if you have any darkness around that area. Next, we're going to go in with this Revlon Color Stay cream eyeshadow in the shade Chocolate, and you are going to actually just take your finger and start applying this all over the lid, and then start kind of pressing it on your eyelid, and then as you have less product on the brush, you can start blending it up with that concealer as well. Starting right here on the lid area. It doesn't matter if you want the darkness to be even higher, you can always blend it upwards. Just don't apply it directly on that part because it'll be harder to blend actually. And then using that brush once again. Also, one of my favorite synthetic brushes that are quite stiff in a good way, like shader brushes, are from Real Techniques. They make amazing brushes for this step. I'm just using this one, the Laura Mercier All Over Eye, because I honestly, no rhyme or reason, just the first one that I picked up. But that is our base so far. Now we are going to go in with our black eye pencil. First, just to get your hand kind of used to it, you're gonna go right underneath your lash line and start tight lining. After that step, you're gonna start with the eyeliner right at the base of your lashes. But because this is a waterproof pencil that I'm using, I'm not gonna go work on the other eye just yet because it's going to dry and it's not going to blend. So I'm gonna take a smaller blending brush and start buffing that line all over. We have our base down. As you can see, they're quite uneven, but we're gonna go in with our black eyeshadow now. You can either go in with that trick that I was talking about earlier where you take your eyeliner, your gel liner, and go all over your lid, but it can be a little hit or miss, to be honest. I'm going to use this Wild Jaguar palette from Huda Beauty. The darker the color, the smaller the brush you wanna go in with. And I'm gonna start stamping this right along the lash line where we applied that fake eyeliner. I'm not gonna go any higher. I'm just gonna focus it right there. And you want to use a brush that's not very fluffy, or else it will give you raccoon eyes and the color will go everywhere, which you don't want. Okay, with that same palette or whatever palette you have, don't feel inclined that you need to go buy this, but just take a dark brown and start stamping over that black that we just applied all over the lid. And again, practice those windshield wiper motions, blending everything higher into the crease, and focus on the shape that you want to create. If you think that you're not good at blending, then just try these steps of lightly patting the colors over the darker ones. With that same dark brown, I'm gonna go over on the bottom lash line and go as smoky as you want here, especially like, imagine like if you're doing like a skeleton look, this is where you can really have fun with it and exaggerate the eyes. Another tip if you want to avoid your black smoky eye looking like raccoon eyes is always just make it cat eye. That's the best bet. Just looks cooler too. Okay, so I did majority of my base, and I look a little crazy in the viewfinder, but hopefully it's translating well. I have concealer on, and a really good tip to really make it look elevated, and again, not like raccoon eyes, is to clean it up right here on the edges with your concealer brush. And oh, this is what I wanted to mention right now, is take a small brush like this, like a flat shader, oh, this is not a shader, definer brush, with that black, and start stamping it along your lash line to fill in that gap between the liner in your waterline and on the lash line. I also added some more, but because our concealer is not set right now, it's kind of gonna blend in a little bit more seamlessly in our under eye if we do it right now. So I'm gonna take a pencil brush and just continue to blend it downwards, just like that. Okay, so I thought we were done with the makeup, but while I was filming, I noticed that something was off and they were still looking kind of raccoony. So what I did is, I know this looks very dramatic, but because I have hooded eyes, and especially if you have hooded eyes, it's very easy to be intimidated by the fact that you don't want to blend up too high. However, you want to use that crease area to your advantage. So what I did is I continued to bring that dark brown up higher into the crease by looking straight ahead, and then kind of put the brush with the dark brown color right there where I see the crease. And then as I close my eye, I'm going to start creating a fake crease to tell myself where I'm going to be blending up to. And then because your eyes are so heavy on the top, you can even go heavy on the bottom. You don't want it to look drastic. Wait, I'm loving this. That's it, you guys. I think we are done. I hope you guys enjoyed this tutorial and found it a little bit more digestible and approachable to a black smoky eye than the other tutorials on YouTube, because I know they can get very overwhelming with the amount of products and brushes and palettes that they use. And you know, it's fun to play with makeup, but when you want to bring it down to the basics, I feel like this is what you should be focusing on. So don't feel like you have to buy any more products out there. Use what you have in your makeup collection, and feel free to leave me any recommendations of other videos or tips and tricks that you would like to see down in the comments. And I will see you guys on the next one. Bye.